open arena for us to really impact so many people. I mean, just think about it. I'm old enough to remember when you had to whisper when you had this conversation. You know, you never felt good about it. It was like the death sentence from Hello Minus the O. You know, you just knew that this was going to be a tormenting thing, like, why me? No! And all of a sudden you just fell down and cradled because you'd already watched everybody else, you know, go through it before you. But I'm excited that we can celebrate how awesome we are as women. And I'm even more excited that there are men in this space that are mastering how to celebrate how phenomenal we are. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you can clap on that. When I think about just this whole piece, it is an empowering moment. I won't even go into my story because if not, it would take a minute. But I'm in a position now having 6 granddaughters that I can teach them the proper way to celebrate being a superwoman. And know that I want it tatted on their chests. That when that moment comes, you are superwoman. And then I'll teach my grandsons, and I have 3 of them. When that moment comes, I need you to celebrate her because she is superwoman. And when we know that superwoman is a powerful thing, then we infect the atmosphere and powerful things happen. And that's what we're going to do tonight because it's World Menstrual Hygiene Day.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we have a dynamic gentleman that's doing some dynamic things. He's a pace setter. He's one who's been on the front line. He's one who's been an advocate. He's one who's empowering not just women but men. He's one who's become a little sensitive to the issue. He's one who has been impacted and quite knowledgeable now of what's really going on when it comes to women and what we go through. And because we're such a phenomenal company, he's really kind of breaking and shaking up a whole lot of stuff and sharing that massive energy all across the country. He is a motivator. He is an encourager. He is a supporter. He is a man that don't mind taking time to make sure you really know what you're doing. But more so than that, I think he is a liberator. And he's one who's been doing this for a while. I know a whole lot of people can tell you a whole lot of things, but we celebrate him at Inspire Nation as the ambassador.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
up against your right and so some crazy energy.
That's right. That's right.
Derek Brown.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I got to let you guys know who, if you don't know Dr. Estelle, you want to get to know her. She's building a team all up and down the East Coast. They have a strong presence in Jacksonville. But she and her husband, attorney Reggie Estelle, literally just moved here to Atlanta, and they're about to take over Atlanta. So if you live here, you better get going. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Estelle, for coming out. Dr. Estelle, attorney Estelle, for coming out as well. And thank you to everybody who came out on a rainy Memorial Day. Give yourselves a quick round of applause.
Yes, sir.
A lot of you had to kill yourselves off of the couch, but you made it here, and we're going to make people aware. Now, definitely, if you can, these front seats are open. If I can get some people from the back to come up to the front, because we want our pictures to look good. We want everybody to come as close as you can, if you would.
Don't be scared. We family, baby.
Yes. Come on in, come on in. They must have told y'all I spit. So get on that front row, that wet mouth joker. Well, again, guys, we're not going to hold you long tonight, but we're definitely excited about today, World Menstrual Hygiene Day. Let me ask a question and be honest with you. Who ever heard about World Hygiene Menstrual Day before this year? You heard about it before? Okay, we got one gentleman who heard about World Menstrual Hygiene Day. Now, to me, this is a testament of the power of Inspire Network, because now we've become aware of this particular day. So this is something we're going to do on an annual basis. Make sense? So very quickly, I want to let you guys know that we have an awareness campaign called Now We Know. Through the Now We Know campaign, this is how we're getting the word out. This is how we're getting the awareness out to men and women about the potential dangers of the sanitary items that our women, our daughters, our nieces, our moms, and everybody else have been using on a regular basis without knowing and without researching what they were using. So we wanted to today show you guys, okay, there's Murphy acting up again, there we go. we have the origin of nspirenetwork, which is the company behind the awareness campaign. The corporate headquarters is located right here in Buckhead, Georgia. The company was established in 2016, and it was founded by 4 men. 4 men, guys. And in addition to that, the global headquarters, as I just said, is in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, the mission of the campaign, as well as the company, is to educate and inform men and women regarding the potential harmful effects. I was ahead of myself. See, I guess I know some of this stuff, right? About the potential harmful effects of sanitary napkins and tampons, to introduce young women to a pleasant monthly cycle experience. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing is we're literally going to be celebrating young women when that time comes at our actual locations. We're going to let them come in, and it's going to be like a birthday party to let them know that this is something to be celebrated, not tolerated, or to be drudged through.
That's right, D. Absolutely,
It's almost
absolutely.
like a sweet 16. We need to let our young ladies know that this is a blessed occasion. How many people like that, right?
That's good.
So in addition to that, they're going to partner with community organizations globally as well. Maybe there's a slight delay on this. So in addition to that, we were just featured, or the founders, the 4 men who formulated this awesome company, were just featured on Bloomberg and WeTV, and they were on the Kathy Ireland show. Now, I didn't know that Kathy Ireland, I thought Martha Stewart was it. Right? Even when she went to prison, I still love Martha Stewart, right? But Kathy Ireland is bigger, her brand is bigger than Martha Stewart's. Wow. It's a multi-billion-dollar brand. So we were also featured in businessforhome.org, where we talked about, where the founder talked about our goal of reaching $50 million in sales this year. But here's my point. If nspirenetwork and this campaign is big enough and important enough to a multi-billion-dollar brand like Kathy Ireland, don't you think your broke cousin should take a deeper look? Yeah. Right? Sometimes we judge things because it's new, but there are huge entities that are already coming aboard and becoming a part of this awesome awareness campaign, and they're not asking for anything. They're asking the company what they can do to help them get this awareness out. How many people like that, right? So in addition to that, the Now We Know Foundation is how we're making a difference. We do focus groups in homes, hotels, churches, synagogues, mosques, all type of organizations. You don't have to be smart to do this business either. All type of organizations and fraternities, sororities all across the nation and now even global. In addition to that, we have a campaign where we do 5K walk and run events. If you're like me, it's a walk for people like John T. Mars and the champion, it's a run. And I was walking behind them. I let them get their run done first. We do these 5K walks, and we do them in different cities. We have the first one here in Atlanta, and I think it was almost 1,000 people at that one. And then we have almost 500 at the last one we did in Orlando. Anybody know when the next one is? What are we talking about next? Is it New Orleans? That's right. That's right. New Orleans is going to be next. So we go to different cities, and there'll be bowling tournaments, bicycle races, all in an effort to bring awareness and attention to the Now We Know movement. How many people like that, right?
Yep,
so
absolutely.
in addition to that, we have a solution-driven campaign that's created one of the answers to women's monthly challenge. So now, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment to give you an opportunity to see a live demonstration by a top producer in this awareness campaign. She's a part of nspirenetwork. She's the holder of the key. Anybody know what the holder of the key means in nspirenetwork? That means she is the top, is it recruiter? She's the #1 recruiter out of 26,000 active reps. This young lady has recruited more people than anybody else in this company. Do you think she might know what she's doing?
Absolutely.
She knows 100% of the facts about the business. She's positioned herself to make life-changing income, but what I love about her most is she's down to earth. She loves to help people reach their goals, and she likes having fun as well. Do me a huge favor, stand on your feet and give Miss Letigia Stanton a hand as she comes forward.
Hey, Miss Letigia.
Thank you so much, Mr. Derek.
Yes, yes.
And this guy, I always say we got to give back to this guy. He's phenomenal. He's just incredible. It seems like it's something hard to do, but with a product like Cherish, it's so easy only thing I'm doing is I'm probably just showing it to more people than everybody else, because if you show this product, you're gonna be the number one recruiter too, right? So just show this product. I can't, you know, they know I was coming up here. Got my shirt on, but after she got me speaking, it said we superwoman. I think it's kind of appropriate. It says anything you can do, I can do bleeding. So
Whoa!
So we're gonna get right to it, you guys. Gonna get right to it. Everybody know what this is. Some of the men might not know. Some of you might know because you had to go pick them up one day, right? But this right here is the leading brand that's in the store, and this right here is Cherish Premium Sanitary Napkin. So we're gonna call this Exhibit A. We're gonna put this down. One of the things I want to ask you, what did you notice about the difference in these two sanitary napkins?
Size.
Yeah, the size. And it's thinner. Yeah, one of the things that to some women, they like that. To some women, this looks a little scary, right? To some women, this really looks a little scary because you like, what am I gonna do with that? I could just get up and leave this room if that's the thing I'm gonna use, right? But we got something to show you, right? So we're gonna put this down. Anybody who haven't felt this pad, do you want to come up here and feel these two pads and let them know?
So this one's a little bit dense and fluffy, and this one's thin and smooth.
Mm-hmm. What's your name?
I'm Rihanna.
Hi, Rihanna.
Hi.
Hi, I'm T. She said it's too thick for her. She can't handle it. She's not wearing no diapers, right? Through with that. All right. So gynecologist says that we secrete 15 to 50 milliliters a day. So we're gonna put 50. This is Menstrual Hygiene. I'll put a little more than 50 in the Cherish Premium Sanitary Napkin. Would you say that's a little more than 50? Mm-hmm. All righty. We're gonna pour that right here. And then we're gonna do the same thing over in Exhibit A, the leading brand, but we're gonna actually put 50. All righty. Well, now when I first saw this, I hopped on the phone. I was hoping that the guy that I talked to was honest, because I said, take my information, anything that you need to know, because I need to be part of this, because my daughter has been suffering, and if any truth to this, I have to be in. So I was like, if you're gonna rob me, just rob me. I didn't know the guy. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take this and we're gonna put this right here. And can we have someone come up and press down on this for me? Yay, we got all the young women coming up today.
All right.
This is all about. She said, you. What's your name? Thank you, Jordan. Look, so Jordan pressed down on this, right? And this is what happened. This is the problem, right? The problem is this is bacteria. I just recently talked to a gynecologist on our team, and he talks about that the problem is that bacteria grows really, really fast, and we're sitting in bacteria, right? And no matter how many times we change this, we're still sitting in it because it's not absorbing, right? Wow. So that's that. Now, we want someone to come up here and press down on Cherish Premium Sanitary Napkins. Voila. Do you see this? This is your first time seeing this? This is amazing, right? Wow. You're never going back to this, right?
That's right.
Look at this, guys. This is what it's all about. When I see young girls and they press down on this, their face light up. If you guys would have saw her face, it lit up because this is what she's been dealing with. And if she found the answer way quicker than we did, right? So you do have your superpowers, right? Right. So we're gonna break this down. Let's break this down. Because if that was the only thing that this pad did, it would be wonderful. But I'm gonna let you show you something that a lot of us didn't know. But now we know, and now you're gonna find out. This right here is rayon and synthetic plastics. And it shouldn't be on our body. And it rub up against us, it causes us rashes and all type of irritations, right? This second one is blue dye, right? It looks pretty. It's supposed to assimilate where our flow's supposed to go, but we all know that that don't happen, right? But when it get wet, the problem is that it gets into our bloodstream, and that shouldn't be in our bloodstream, okay? Now this right here is what, it just never gets old, and it always just shocked me that we've been dealing with this for so long. But it makes me happy to know that now we have the answer. This right here is recycled newspaper. This right here is recycled landfill trash. Baby girl, you know when the truck come and pick up the trash at your house? That's what this is. They grind it up and they bleach it 8 times. And we're sitting on that. And it creates a chemical called dioxin. I want all you all to go and do your own homework and research and look up dioxin. But I can tell you, it has nowhere near to be by our bodies, right?
Right.
And so that's why we're so excited, especially when we see these young ladies. You don't have to go through this. And I'm going to tell you guys, I met a young lady in the mall, the youngest hysterectomy that I have seen this far. The young girl was 15 years old.
What?
I hear 20 years old all the time in their 20s. 15 years old. Yeah. So this right here is nothing more than a tampon. So with a string on it. So we have to be very careful about that because this is inserted in us, so it's even worse, right? So we're going to take this. We have 2 cups of water. 1/2 more and 1/2 less. Which one have the least? One. Okay. So we're going to put this in the least amount of water. This right here, you guys, is a trash bag. So our bodies is 95 degrees there, whatever. Really hot. Really hot, right? And we're sitting in that bacteria, right? And so all type of stuff is going on. How do we know when bacteria is present? You can smell it, right?
Wow.
So that's I don't care how many times we changed this pad. We was fighting a losing battle because we're sitting in bacteria. That's the smell that we've been dealing with. So here we go with Cherish Premium Sanitary Napkin. We're going to do the same thing and be fair and break down ours. We broke theirs down. We're going to break ours down. I want you to pass this around. I want you to feel that and tell me what you feel. Is it dry?
It's dry.
It's dry. Yeah. So that is soft cotton and it's dry. So anything that hits this pad, it pulls it away from our bodies to keep us dry and comfortable. And that's what we've been trying to buy all these years, right? So this right here is a negative ion strip. Negative ions come from beaches, lakes, waterfalls, the feeling that you get after the thunderstorm outside. When we leave out here, everybody gonna be sleepy. You know, tired, feeling relaxed, right? And so that's what this is, right? So one of the things that happen with negative ions, it relaxes you. My daughter used to miss school every week. If she came on in the week, during the school week, she would miss days. And the teachers knew that that's what's going to happen, right? She put this pad on within 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, stopped cramping. Her cycle went from 7 days to 3 days.
Wow.
It was very heavy, now it's very light. Her life has been changed forever. It helps with PMS. It helps with pain, hot flashes, balances out your pH levels. And that's in each and every one of our pads. Hot flashes. And it works quick too. So this right here is a non-toxic polymer. That's our absorbency system. That's in our pads, kind of like the same thing in baby diapers. So we're going to put that right there where we said it was more water. This right here is air laid. It surrounds the polymers of our pads. It pulls everything down to keep you dry. and this right here, we have 4 strips in here. If you see those 4 strips, I got a YouTube video where I put this over hot steam cup of water. Steam come through it. And it's very important because it needs to have breathability, right? That other pad wasn't going to do that. So look what we have here. They haven't absorbed anything. And you can look, it's changing colors. Those are the chemicals that's coming up and that we're sitting in, and it's getting into our body. Feel it, it's very cool. It keeps your body very cool, right? So that is why we're here today. Cherish is the star. So we have these pads in day, night, overnight, and panty liners. And guess what? We want to make sure that everyone can afford these. These pads are $5. $5. So that is what the national campaign is about, that Mr. Brown was telling you about. And we're going to bring him back up here so he can finish telling you about this.
All right. Let's give it I want to give 3 quick testimonies real quick. Ms. Steve, you come and give a testimony? Oh, okay. We'll get 2 more people to give a good testimony very quickly. Dr. Estelle? All right. And Ms. Letitia, let's come on up. You give your testimony. Give them a hand. We're going to start with Ms. Steve, Dr. Estelle, and then Ms. Letitia. We want to hear y'all's testimonies. Thank you.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. So my testimony is really funny, and it's a little gross, so hold on to your seats. Last year, we had the samples of the pads before they hit the market, so I had an opportunity to use them. Of course, I didn't want to use them all on me because it was about, sewing them out to the public, but I used one, and we went out of town that day with the one pad, 6:30 in the morning. We were headed to Birmingham for an event, and I forgot to bring the backup pads from, the store brand. But I had that one Cherish, 6:30 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. before we got back. Yes, so you do the math. At the end of the day, me being from the Show Me State originally, I said, let me find out that these pads really work. So, at the end of the day, I had to just touch the pad. It was dry just like the example though, although this was not water, okay? But it was still dry to the touch, as dry as this shirt. Then I said, okay, Joyce, smell the pad. So I just, I brained up, smelled the pad, and I'm telling you, it smelled like I just opened the box. So I was like, man, we are in. So yeah, Cherish is definitely the most comfortable pad in the world.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's called putting it to the test, honey.
Yeah.
That's called push your. Let's see, one last thing. Does it smell? Awesome. Well, I tell you, I can't say enough about the Cherish experience. And like a lot of us, we have foregone our moments of releasing flow. So for me, my testimony is a testimony of the balance of using the panty liner. The panty liner has been a life-saving, because I can be a little extra at times and get a little hype. But the panty liners have brought us through a lot of amazing situations. And to take it even farther, my mom is a triple stroke survivor. She's bedridden. She's fabulous. Mommy was having some aches and pains. So that panty liner went from being a panty liner to knee and ankle relief. Why so? I heard Mr. Crump say that it relieves pain. And he had some gentlemen to put it in their shoes during an event. I'm like, well, they went for the shoe. I might get a little extra sleep tonight. Okay, because at this time I was taking care of my mom in Florida. So we put panty liners on the ankle and on the knee. Had no more problems. I went in 2 or 3 times because she would be complaining during the night. Went in 2 or 3 times. Like, it really worked. My 94-year-old mom that keeps us up all night. Oh, we own to something here. But it definitely worked. And I think that's just the power behind the iron strip.
Yes.
when it comes to pain, it's pain no matter where the pain is.
Right.
Hint, pain is pain no matter where the pain is. So we might be on to some new stuff. Try it in some other areas, and you might find that you don't want to leave home without being cherished.
That's right, man. That's right.
I'll tell you guys my daughter's testimony, but to what she just said, the carnival was at Stonecrest Mall the other day. So I worked like on Evans Mill. It's kind of far, right? So I walked because I said I had to go over there, so I walked, right? Because the cars couldn't get past, so I walked a long time, and then I was at the carnival all day. I'm kind of older. My legs were hurting so bad when I got home. They were cramping. Like she said, I said cramps. I put some socks on. Put them in my socks, went to bed, cramps was gone. So that is right? So, but my daughter's testimony, why I got into this, because my daughter, she started, I'm being transparent, she started her cycle at 9. By the time she was 9.5, it was downhill. My baby was in so much pain, flowing so heavy, it was crazy, right? Taking her back and forth to the doctor telling me to put a 10-year-old on birth control pills. And I'm like, no. By the time she got 11, she fainted. She fainted, right? At that point, I had no other choice. You know, I didn't want to tell anybody, but I did. I put her on birth control pills. So I would keep her on there for like 3 weeks and take her off and put her back on and just keep doing that, right? So anytime I saw lotion, potions, anything, tea, anything that could help her, I would buy it. So that's why when I saw this, I was like, wow, right? She was 25 years, she's 26 now. She was 25 years old when this happened. I brought this small pad home. My daughter used to have to wear a tampon and a pad. It has to change it every hour, right? I brought this home, I showed her a little pad. She was like, Mom, come on now, come on. I said, well, just take your heavy auxiliary with you, you know. So I said, because, you know, we had our video, and we was just like, well, water and our flow might be a little different, right? So she put that on. She went out, she came back 8 hours later. The pad was dry. So I'm like, baby girl, now how does it smell? You had this on all this time. I ain't know. It didn't have no smell to it, right? She stopped cramping in 10 minutes. My niece is the same way. And my mom, she gets on the phone and she talks to everybody, and she said, if I didn't see this for myself, I wouldn't believe it. She had to pick them young ladies up from school every month. My niece used to throw back so many pills that we knew her liver was going to be messed up. In our house now, you never know when they're on their cycle. My daughter was like sometimes 11 days, 7 days. It is 3 days, and I tell you, her 3rd day is a penny liner day, life changing. So when it comes to this, I'm going to get out here and I'm going to shout to the rooftop about Cherish, because Cherish is a star.
All right. Panelists, come up real quick. 4 panelists, if you would.
Oh, man.
All right. Give them a round of applause.
You gonna hold it from the right?
I was going to say there's one more. Well, guys, we're going to wrap up this event this evening by posing some questions to some of the prominent distributors in the Now We Know campaign and Inspire Network. So what I want to do very quickly is just introduce each and every one of them to you. We have, well, matter of fact, you guys can introduce yourselves and what you do outside of Inspire.
Well, I'm Reverend Dr. Twana Still. I'm the senior pastor of New Life Power Ministries in Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, I commute from here back home. And I'm an Inspire aside from that.
All right, all right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Janine Ridgway. I'm a chiropractor, a naturopathic doctor. I have a functional medicine clinical nutrition practice here in Marietta, and I am inspired.
I'm Dr. Damon. I'm David Meadows, aka the champ. You know, I'm just excited about this Inspire campaign. I'm just a person that's really pledged to save women's lives, you know.
Dr. Jacques Jean-Pierre. I had to keep it going anyway. Jacques T. Morris, a proud husband of 15 years, also a proud father of 3 wonderful children. Have 2 girls, one little man. You know, I would say little boy, but you know, sometimes you try to. But anyway, but 3 wonderful children, and I've been a full-time entrepreneur for the last 7 years. Seeing this concept here with Inspire back in December of 2016, I saw the video, and I just said I had to become a part of this awareness campaign and help spread the word to others.
And he's the coolest guy in Atlanta. You can Google that.
Literally. We'll start with Dr. Janine. Mr. Morris almost answered the first question. Dr. Janine, how were you introduced to Inspire Network?
Oh boy. Okay, so I actually saw a video online, and at the time the company did not have a name, but the gentleman in the video, who was one of our founders, said that he had found something so powerful that you would want to share it with people, even if there was no money involved. And I'm thinking, oh, what is that? That sounds interesting. So I kept, following, and ended up getting on a call, and it was our CEO. And there was still no name to the product, didn't know what it was, but at the very end of the call, he says, Apple brought you the iPad, now Inspire is bringing you the dry pad. And I almost fell out. I'm like, what? A pad? But I basically, once I saw what the product was, it was a no-brainer for me, because every day I work with primarily women, children in practice, and I worked with the problems that we've been hearing these testimonials about every day. And I already knew, because I find in my testing a lot of toxicity, a lot of chemicals, heavy metals, things like that. And this is just one of the ways that we're being exposed to them from a very young age, all of our lives. So finding a way that I could help people prevent that, and having an 11-year-old daughter who hasn't started, it's such a blessing, because now I know that she'll always be cherished.
Awesome. Mr. Meadows, same question. How were you introduced to Inspire Network?
I was introduced to Inspire Network by a trick, actually. I was tricked, because those of you who know my background, y'all know I'm a man's man. And my mentor, the ambassador, Mr. Derek Brown, he just asked me to come to a presentation. And I was like, what's it about? He was like, no, just come. I want to tell you, just come. Just believe me, you're going to want to. I said, all right, I'm going to come, because I respect it, because we made a lot of money in another company. And when I went there, when Crump pulled out the pad, I'm like, oh no, they tripped. Because I'm like, I'm not putting my name on no pad. I mean, I'm just being honest with y'all. But when he started breaking down, when I seen the wet and dry, I got 2 daughters, and I'm sitting there like, this is deeper than just a product. So now I'm like, as a man, I got an obligation to be the protector. And the protector not only is just the provider, but the protector is protective against anything harmful. So I said, I gotta put my pride away, because in this society, we've been faked into believing that this is not a man's issue. This is something that we don't, men don't get into that. But the reality is, how can you be a protector when you don't protect the women in your family and women that you love? That's the ultimate protection, because that's something that she absolutely needs. So how can I be a father, an uncle, a brother, a son, when I don't tell you about something that I know that's harming you? Wow. So therefore, it was just a no-brainer for me. So Mr. Derek Brown tricked me into coming to the meeting, and that's how I became the champ.
Background, you have to trick somebody like that. You can't say come see your sanitary napkin. All right. Dr. Estelle, what has been the one thing that has impacted you personally in terms of hearing and seeing the stories surrounding the Now We Know campaign?
Wow. What has impacted me personally? It would have to be the impact on my daughter's life. She too was one who suffered tremendously with cramps that would keep her from functioning. And I'll never forget when my husband was the one that brought this amazing life to us. Gave us another campaign. But I'll never forget when Honey came home with the product, and he was calling her for months. Baby, I need you to try this, I need you to try this, I need you to try this. So he too somewhat tricked her. We carried the product down to Orlando to share it with her. You have to know my daughter. It's like if we say left, she's gonna go right. If we say up, she's gonna go. She just gotta show us that our way is not, there's always another way. Oh, I think I hit some nerves. some of my babies are licking. Okay, so she was gonna show us that there was another way. So she was putting it all off, but we went down and left the product with her. And I'll never forget when she phoned her dad, and she phoned him screaming.
Wow.
She talks fast anyway. Daddy, you don't believe it. And I was like, and Daddy, I'm so sorry because you were so right. Daddy, I just so apologize. And she's just going on and on and on. I need you to get me some more. Now the sad part is this was a product. There was a product drought.
We had nothing.
All we had was that pad.
Yeah.
We just wanted to see. We want to try it out on her to really see if it would do what they said it would do. But that was a life-changing moment, and her whole attitude changed when it came to the fact that she could now function. And the key piece is that it gave her her life back in reference to her job.
Wow.
Because she would almost have to plan how the day was going to go because it was so planned. She knew when it was going to hit, what she was going to need to do, so she would get drugged up in advance so that she could just function to get through the day. Now she realizes, now that she's on the product, everything is balanced now. She has a routine. The other thing would also be my niece. Oh my Lord, she's just horrible. She reminded me of myself. The screaming, the yelling, I can't take it, I want to die. Somebody please take it away. Wow. Her mom got in the business and just bought the big package. So not doing anything with it at this point, but she has a lifetime supply. But the key to this is Morgan was out of control, and she was keeping my mom that particular afternoon, and she called me, and she's screaming on the phone. I'm like, what? Calm down, because I'm thinking my mom has passed away.
Wow.
The next month she was on the product. I said, well, Morgan, how's it going? She said, oh, Auntie, I meant to tell you, I kept forgetting I had it on. So she went from screaming to I forgot I had it on.
Wow.
And our girls suffer like this. I'm excited about them forgetting that they had it on.
It's great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Great, yeah.
Mr. Dr. Morris, why has the Now We Know campaign attracted so much support from men?
Wow. So I will speak on that particular question from my own personal perspective, because oftentimes we say that we love individuals. However, when you hear the word empathy, it's been described as your pain in my heart. So when we think, from a man's perspective, for years, we were oblivious, we were not in tune, some of us didn't care, myself personally, I didn't have any interest in this particular aspect of a woman's life. But when I started thinking about my wife and my daughters and how much I do love them, and then when I was educated as far as the information and then the awareness campaign, it made me become more empathetic, not just to the women that are in my household, but women around the globe. Because as I consistently shared the information, so many women would they would just react in a way that still blows me away till this day. And that they're like, you don't understand. You literally just changed my life. I deal with fibroids. I deal with endometriosis. I'm curled up in the fetal position. I have to take X amount of painkillers. So that pain that women have to feel every single month because of a natural process based on the way that they're designed, now as a man, I'm more empathetic to it because of the Now We Know awareness campaign. And I think I can speak for a lot of men around the world in that, again, we just didn't know. We had no idea. But now, we're able to take a personal interest, and we see that we're making a difference, not just in our own personal households, but again, we're making a difference in households around the globe. And so as we look at men, Mr. Derek Brown, the champ, myself, and other men really step into the forefront, we're like, you know what? We didn't talk about this before, but guess what? You're not going to stop us from talking about it now.
That's right. That's good. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Meadows, Dr. Meadows. Even with such a great mission, have you found someone that still has not supported it? And what was the reason? And what reason would they have not to?
That's a great question. And I thought, that it would be such a simple process. When you see wet and dry, like to me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And I never wore a pad in my life. I'm serious. And I'm like, okay, y'all don't want the pad? But the reality is, you know, thinking about what Mr. Crump said, he really put it to perspective when he was like, you know what? Because he thought the same thing. He was like, you know, we thought it was going to be for every woman, but it's obviously not. It's for the health-conscious woman who respects her body enough to understand is, I've been poisoned since I was 8, 9, 10, or whatever time her cycle came on, until the moment I seen a better product that wasn't even designed for the American woman, let alone the African American woman.
Wow.
So therefore, when you're talking about, I had to put myself out of the situation because I was defending. I'm like, I'm serious. I'm just keeping it all real. I'm like, what you mean you don't want the bag? Like, because you get so passionate and you like, yo, you need this, not want it. Like you really need to get this.
Right.
Like you ain't understanding. You don't even care about yourself. No, but I'm cool. I like tampons. Are you kidding? You gonna put the garbage inside you? Like I'm sitting like I don't understand that. Let alone you sitting on it, but now you gonna put it inside you. That's far worse than just sitting on some landfill garbage. So to me, I realized when Mr. Crump said, he's like, you know what? Honestly, it's not for every woman. It's literally for the woman who respects her body, respects what she put in her body and on her body to realize she want to live a healthier life.
Wow. Yes, sir.
All right, I want you to expound on, if you would, the fact you touched on something. You said that the pad wasn't originally made for the women here. Can you expound on that?
Absolutely. Listen, I don't know if y'all seen my hot seat with Mr. Crump, but I wanted to grill him down. Like I'm sitting like, listen, man, you brought the pads down here, America, we excited, and we like, listen, man, this pad gonna change our lives. We gonna get millions of dollars. What's going on? We ain't making no money. I want to know what's going on. But the reality when I had to shut up because he said, listen, he said, let me tell y'all, man, we went to the manufacturer. And where they make the pads at, it's for those petite women in that country. Like literally. I don't think y'all understand. Because I addressed one woman on Facebook. She's like, oh, I mean, I don't understand. You say, well, pads are not, they don't make pads just for one woman. Let me tell y'all something. In that country, they make those pads for that country, for those people, for those petite, small women. So Inspire brought this pad to America, like Dr. Excel said. She said we had demos, not the regular product. That means samples. We were still trying to figure it out. So when they bought it, put it in perspective, when they brought it to America, we so excited, we ran. We literally ran with it. So now we like, oh my God, this is the path for everybody. Not understanding, Mr. Crump, Mr. Coleman, Mr. Medina, Mr. Spencer, never been in the pad industry in their life. So from the name of the pad, all the way up to the function of the pad, we're getting from the women. You understand? So honestly, we ran so fast until we didn't get a chance to perfect the pad, because once we start getting the feedback, we like, okay, we needed to be longer. We needed to be wider. We need the strip to be longer. We're bringing this back to the manufacturer where we're literally, Inspire has literally made them get another machine, a mold to really fit the African-American women. Wow. Because our women are healthier, are thicker, are voluptuous, and I love it, and it's the fact. But this is fact.
That's
because
right.
When you put it in perspective, you gotta respect it. Our Now We Know campaign is the first of its kind. We have no examples. We literally have no examples. Understand what I'm saying? Y'all seen the Barney, the purple one in the stores? The Barney about that big. For real. Because they realize we don't care about, we just want to give y'all something to let y'all be content. We want y'all to be healthier. So when he put it in perspective, I'm going to keep it all right real with y'all. He said, man, it wasn't even made for the women in America, let alone African American. What else can I say with that? Because now we put it in perspective that, okay, some of our women, they love it. But some of our women are a little thicker, a little voluptuous, and it gives them a little bit more problems because they got a little bit more to work with. But guess what Inspire said? Listen, guess what Inspire said though? Give us your, absolutely. Give us your problems, we gonna fix it.
That's it.
That's what's
That's
up.
what I love about Inspire.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm not worried about them right now because we're really looking at for longevity. Like you said, these two women that came away for the examples, y'all ain't got nothing to worry about. And the future generation after them, they ain't got nothing to worry about. We're fixing a problem that's 100 years old. Don't think 1 year we gonna fix all the problems.
That's good.
Good
You
point.
understand?
That's
So
good.
for me, I'm sitting like, oh, it's a wrap. I couldn't even say nothing with Mr. Trump no more because I said, you know what? It's the long road for us. Honestly.
That's good.
All right, great answer.
That's good.
Great
That's good.
Dr. Estelle, in your opinion, how do you think the world accepts the fact that 4 men are the founders of a company and a campaign that is bringing awareness to a topic that, for some, has long been considered taboo?
I think the world is in shock. I really think the world is in shock, but the world is also embracing and being impacted by it. I think there is nothing more powerful for me, not only as a woman, but as an African-American woman, to see 4 amazing men of color at the forefront of paving the way for an issue that we've had to deal with. I think it's, for lack of a better word, it's kind of sexy. and watch how I say that. I say that from the standpoint that I remember when my brother didn't want to be bothered with me when it was my time. I remember when boyfriends went under the radar during that time. I remember the shame during that time. I remember having to whisper during that time. I remember wearing black like I was in mourning during that time. I remember all the taboos, the guys laughing and joking. And you mean to tell me, for the baddest debonair off the cover of GQ magazine, brothers are paving the way, waving the banner to bring awareness for issues that concern us as women? I mean, men who are in a position to say that I want every woman to have an amazing month. I don't think you grabbed it. I want every woman to have an amazing month, because the truth be known, a portion of our month, about 2 weeks, is not amazing. Because after you go through, you're in pain from going through, you're trying to get your body back right to get ready to go back through again. It's like, you planning your trips around everything. You let your husband know I'll be available during these times. This time I won't be available. You know, the whole piece. But to know that we have 4 distinguished gentlemen who are unapologetically unashamed to be the orators and who are deputizing other men.
Wow.
We're giving them a badge of honor who is just as bad to the bone as they are. I mean, taking it to a whole nother level. That to me is a powerful message. And I remember my godfather saying, he's a bishop, I'm not in favor, I just think it's a little offensive for a man to be having this conversation. Now this was 2 years ago. I just spoke to him yesterday. And I was telling him about the campaign. He said, you know, I remember you telling me some things that the way I felt then, I still feel today. And I was saying to myself, thank you very much for feeling that way today. Because I'm a lot more knowledgeable today than I was 2 years ago. And I was able to educate him. Did you know and did you realize? So my question to you would be, Dad, if you knew that your daughters, and I named them, were suffering, and you as a man had the one thing that could save their life, would you share it, or would you say, I can't tell them about it?
Wow.
See, that's for those older gentlemen who are offended. It's a lifesaver. He said, I tell you what, I feel totally different. I understand what you're saying, and just talk to my wife. He said, I support it. I'm going to get the package. Just talk to my wife, but I got it now. And we have to be that passionate when we're sharing. So, do I think the world is what the world has to say? I really don't care what the world has to say. I care about what we have to say, because they're on the front line. They just sat down with Miss Kathy, honey. So the bad is the bad. So they're doing a phenomenal thing, and I'm excited. I'm excited, and to know that men are stepping to the forefront And for the number of men I had to say to me, I apologize.
That's right.
I apologize. I did not know. If I had known, don't let me start to describe, what it's like. Oh my God, I didn't know you was going through all of that. Yes. But to have men be so passionate, I think it's an amazing thing. I'm all for the fabulous four.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Dr. Janine, what difference do you see the Now We Know campaign making in local communities from your perspective?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that, as she was saying, people are not aware. The men are not aware, and in a lot of cases, the women are not aware, because if you don't personally suffer, some of these stories that I've heard, even as a doctor, some of these stories that I've heard have moved me to tears, because I just didn't know to what degree people were suffering. So I think that this campaign offers us hope. That's the biggest thing people are looking for. They're looking for hope. They're looking for understanding, and then we have such a fabulous solution that I think once people really embrace that, it's going to go crazy, and they're going to be able to share and be able to change a lot of lives.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mr. Moore, same question. We'll close with you.
Go ahead and repeat the question. So in tune to Dr. Janine's answer.
Oh, no problem at all. What difference do you see the Now We Know campaign making in local communities from your perspective?
Okay. So for one, I see the difference being us having healthier communities. Because when you think about individuals that are healthy, typically they're happy. Health and happiness pretty much coincide with one another. And so if we're healthy and we're happy, then our communities are going to be more productive on a number of different levels, because a lot of times when we look at our communities, we think, or we talk about the degradation of our communities. And we're looking at other individuals, be it celebrities or prominent people, to make a difference in our communities, where the reality is now we have something to make a difference in our communities for ourselves. And so it's imperative that we continue to share the awareness campaign. We continue to educate men, women, boys, and girls, because when we all know better, we can what?
Do better.
Do better. So that's the difference.
All right, guys, give our panel a hand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that actually concludes our first World Menstrual Hygiene Health Day event here in Atlanta. So let's give it up for our panel again. And all the leadership as well. Now, I definitely want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for attending this event on a rainy Monday holiday, right? But one of the things that I've noticed is the setup, the panel, a very brief, description of the company and the awareness campaign. This is something that we're going to do again. As they were answering these questions, I said, we have to do this again. And, we're going to take advantage of it by making sure that we have our ministers, our imams, leaders of the synagogues in attendance at this event. We're going to make sure that some of the founders are at this event. We'll notify you of the date and the time. But this is something that we have to understand for the most part. Like Dr. Estelle was saying when she answered the question about the 4 distinguished men that have come up with this awesome campaign, we have to be consistent in letting these young ladies become aware about a very serious issue. People forget sometimes that the company is just a year old as of last Wednesday.
That's right.
And we're already getting the attention of multi-billion-dollar conglomerates. I won't mention the name, but they're already asking the company to tone it down. So by the time we hit a 5-year anniversary, guys, it is a wrap. There are going to be millions of people that have been made aware. But in addition to that, there's going to be a lot of people whose lives will change from a financial perspective as well because of this awesome campaign. So again, I want to give it up for our distinguished panel.
All right, all right. Woo!
Cheese. We'll just look at it. And what we're going to do, in closing, is we're actually going to, if everybody can, well, maybe it'll be easy.
You could be still.
If I can be still. Show my number 1. What we're going to do real quick as we close, if everybody can come up, I want to get a 2-second picture